Up next, and I'm going to help him onto the stage, is Howard Lees. So Howard set up Holling Consulting in 2004, and since then has acquired lots of different coaching relationships, and that's something that we've all benefited from, because I think on the quest to do a great job as an effective coach, he's experimented with doing and saying lots of different things. And recently, he's been getting very fit, going on lots of walks every day, and he goes on these walks, storms up the hill in his local town, and records all these things on a voice recorder. So, you know, on a good day, we're talking about 25 kind of just ideas, which he comes back and he types them up, and then he sends them out on an email. So I suspect quite heavily that some of those bits and pieces are in here today. Yes. Howard Lees.
Safety's got itself into a strange place. I've got two talks today, and both of these talks are about how we got it into this strange place, and how we can back out of here and go in a much better direction. Because the theme, I suppose, is there are an awful lot of people out there who take something essentially good and take something that has tons of good intentions and integrity, and then they stick it in an organization, and then the corporate part of the organization turns it into something horrible, yeah, down here somewhere. And there are a few examples of here as to how that's happened. And I do have some answers, but most of the answers require somebody to put their hand up at some point and go, look, I'm really sorry, but I don't think this is working, Mr. Chief Executive. I'm really sorry, but this stuff we're doing, I think, is a bit silly. You know, there's no way out of that, really. A group of people could do it and sing it like a choir. You know, they're very popular on TV now. So 15 of you could get together, and you could all kind of, to the tune of Land of Hope and Glory. You know, you could sing, our safety processes are all bollocks. Yeah, you could do that. And then you wouldn't be able to kill one particular person. But otherwise, your only option is or death, yeah, or somebody else's death, yeah. So it's really difficult to say this, yeah. For me, and I talked yesterday about my visit to London. I only went to London, and I've scared myself to death standing on the platform at rush hour in Euston Tube Station, because you shuffle forward and then you're here, and a bloody train goes past like that, and you could put a hand out and just lose it, like gone. And it's really scary. So if you're not used to it, it's really, I would imagine people in London just get used to that. Oh yeah, I always do that. Yeah, train, whoosh, it's no problem at all. But for somebody who lives in the country and walks out, the most dangerous thing I do is walk on a footpath, and I risk some idiot texting and driving, across the footpath and smashing me into a wall. But in London, you really do, Death, I'm very concerned about. I don't want to die, yeah? However, a cut finger, not so bothered about. Just being honest, yeah? So there's all of this. It was a good idea. I was probably part of it. Zero injury, we need to strive for zero injury. So it's an honourable, quest. I don't object to it. But it's been dealt with in a very artless way, and now we've ended up focusing on me not getting a cut finger and not focusing as much as I was hoping on me not dying, yeah? So I'm at just as much risk of dying, but I've got much less risk of having a cut finger. I don't think I'm too happy about that, really. There's a lot of smiles in the audience, so there's clearly a lot of zero this and zero that. The same person that's saying 0, 0, thumping the table and saying we've got to have zero injuries, is also saying, I want you to report all the near misses, close calls, whatever you call these bloody things, hazards. Yeah, you've got to report all these things, yeah? I want everything, yeah? So this hand is thumping the table going, I want nothing, and this hand saying, I want everything. So, okay, now I'm getting confused now, so you don't want anything, yeah? But if anything looks as if it's going to go bad, I've got to say so out loud, and I've got to trust you that you'll treat me with care and attention, and you won't punish me for saying, by the way, that bloke just nearly got hit by whatever it was, yeah? Bearing in mind that the most dangerous thing you do is stand on the platform at Euston, and for that, you don't get a safety induction, you don't get a leaflet, you don't get, cabin crew saying, You don't get any of that. You're just a member of the public going on a station, nearly getting killed, yeah, apparently, yeah. So bearing that in mind, there's something gone awry. So people still say this, and it's wrong. It's just wrong. So there's a lot of stuff in here that I'm saying, we really now need to get rid of this stuff. Safety cannot be a priority. It can't be a priority. So it's a value. It's a whatever we're going to do, we're going to make sure that everything that we do is done safely. Yeah. But we're not going to make it a competing priority with other things, because it's going to lose. Yeah? And in a lot of organizations, it bloody well does lose, yeah? But saying safety is our number one priority, you've been to the conferences and stuff, you know, chief executive, safety is our number one priority. Does it pass the macho test? Absolutely, it does pass the macho test. Does it pass the intelligence test? No. There are lots and lots of arguments I could give you, and Bob will later on as well, why you can't say that, because it can't be a priority, it has to be a value. So, as Sir Ken Robinson says on many of his talks, just stop doing that from now on, okay? Can we knock 2 weeks off the schedule for the job, yeah? Does that pass the macho test? Absolutely. Can we knock 2 weeks off the schedule for this job? Yeah. What about the intelligence test? What about the... before we all go, yeah, could we just consider, you know, what has to happen in order for the job to finish by this date? So, you know, what's the last thing that's going to be delivered, and, you know, can we get it delivered 2 weeks earlier, or do we have the resources to do that, or all of the stuff that anybody that's been a project manager instantly does, you know. This macho stuff just needs to be called out, yeah? Just needs to be called out. But I think now what needs to be called out is this cut finger stuff. So we do lots of courses. Bruce said, I do read all the homeworks, and I do get a lot of very funny stories. And that was a close call that somebody filled in. So this is now, people are now, they're now forced to fill in, you know, 5 a week or 10 a month, or you lot have got to fill in, you know, 20 close calls this month. And that was a genuine one. The sticker was still on the apple I bought in the canteen. Yeah? Because the postscript to that was that the person who filled that in slipped on a banana and broke his neck and died. No, he didn't, no. That's just a joke. Yeah? But somebody's taken something which is honourable, but it's gone to a silly place, and now it's in disrepute, and now it has to stop. Yeah, now they've got to stop doing that stuff now, because somebody's tried to put a process in, a paper process, and turned it into something that wasn't actually originally intended. So this whole meetings and monthly report stuff that happens, it has the illusion of doing something, and it certainly has activity attached to it. But I really don't want any of these, you know, these directors, some of these directors particularly. Why would you want the finance director to go and do a safety audit on a site he knows absolutely nothing about, and then while he's there, go and insult a load of people in the process? You know, why would you want that? Why would anybody want something like that to happen? And as I said just today, we did have data on a company that had. There was a bonus for directors if they did 3 safety audits a year, yeah? So went on 3 sites a year, and more than 50% of them did their 3 safety audits in March, yeah? The last month, so that they could tick the box and collect the money, yeah? That's outrageous. It's outrageous that people do that. That's got absolutely nothing to do with safety and everything to do with ignorance and greed, yeah? Under the guise of, hey, if we get our directors to do this, it'll make the world a safer place. Absolutely it won't. It'll probably make the world a less safe place, because people will recognize the cynicism that's designed into something like that. I think we need to be focusing on corporations. I think we need to be focusing on what's actually happening out there, yeah, and doing some really honest, you know, get some really honest data on what's actually happening out there. And I think we should be focusing on corporations and the hypocrisy that exists when you get so far up corporations. Most of the people that I meet in most organizations who are the people who add value, so the people who are, you know, like, if you like, project manager down or operations manager down or, you know, whatever, but the people who add value to the company are genuinely you don't have a problem with. It's people who don't have a real job, who've got these kind of fake, very important jobs high up, who come out with all of these, multiple initiatives and hire expensive consultants and bringing them in and, oh, now we've got to do this bloody thing, and oh, and this year we're doing this thing, I've only just remembered the last acronyms and I get another load of acronyms. This kind of corporation kind of rolled down, lunacy is the very thing, I think, that creates the environment down there where these people don't get the truth, and that's what they should have, yeah? These people should be getting the truth, and I don't think they get the truth because the people down here have tried telling them and now they can't be asked anymore, yeah? So they've created an environment where they don't get honest upward reporting. There were a few motherhood and apple pie things written on flip charts yesterday, and that was one of them, honest upward reporting. Yeah, good luck with that. But there are people out there that do it, and it's definitely possible. And if you're working in an organization where you feel as if there's kind of, some corporate, weird corporate thing going on up here, I would just suggest you get with more and more of the people at your level and just see if you can create, something, create an undercurrent of, no, we like that, or, We've got loads of data off the courses, and there are people here there's somebody here who just rolled out a whole load of graduated 60 people with an improvement plan, and some of these improvement plans are fantastic. But you read them and think, how on earth did this get this wrong, in an organization? This is ridiculous, Hey, this is ridiculous. How did that happen, Well, these things in your organization, if you kind of take 2 steps back and take a look at it and go, bloody hell, that's a bit weird, isn't it? These things happen for a reason. So there are reinforcers and punishers within the organizations that end up with these strange kind of, these strange things. And people put in a lot of time and effort in things that don't appear to do anything, don't appear to have any, downward result.